Across the dense forests of Asia, a silent transformation is taking place in the world of tigers. These apex predators, once seen as reclusive and fiercely territorial, are now evolving in surprising ways. In regions where human activity has steadily expanded, tigers are beginning to exhibit entirely new behaviors. They're not just avoiding humans, they're watching, calculating, and adapting their strategies to survive and coexist. This behavioral shift is becoming more noticeable in areas with frequent human-tiger interactions and habitat overlap. From India's Sundarbans to Nepal's buffer zones, tigers are showing an incredible level of behavioral flexibility. These magnificent cats, traditionally nocturnal hunters, are changing their schedules based on human presence and patterns. Some now hunt earlier in the evening or later at night to avoid human detection altogether. Camera traps have documented this altered activity cycle in multiple reserves and community-shared landscapes across Asia. By shifting their routines, tigers are reducing direct contact and minimizing risks of retaliation from people. This mirrors changes seen in urban-adapted animals like foxes and coyotes, but at a much larger scale. Tigers aren't becoming tame, but they are learning which areas and actions are safest at different times. In areas where humans frequently walk or farm, tigers carefully track movement and avoid being seen. In one case, a tigress was observed hiding behind bushes while villagers passed just feet away. She didn't attack or flee, she simply waited, watched, and resumed her path once they were gone. Such restraint reveals a high level of cognition and emotional regulation uncommon in many large predators. This change isn't instinctive, it's learned and passed on, especially to cubs raised in human-dominated environments. Young tigers grow up watching adults respond cautiously to humans and slowly adopt similar behaviors themselves. It's survival, not submission, a quiet, deliberate recalibration of instinct in a landscape no longer fully wild. In India's central highlands, some tigers now cross roads only after traffic subsides late at night. They appear to have memorized traffic patterns and avoid open crossings until it's statistically safer. This kind of predictive intelligence suggests that tigers are not just reactive, but future-oriented in behavior. Much like domestic animals, they're learning from experience and modifying responses to avoid negative outcomes. In Thailand's western forests, researchers found tigers using man-made trails when human activity was lowest. This efficient travel strategy mirrors behaviors seen in wild dogs and even leopards in urban zones. Tigers are conserving energy and minimizing exposure by making calculated use of human infrastructure. Incredibly, some tigers in Bangladesh now patrol territories that include villages without showing aggressive tendencies. They seem to recognize which humans pose a threat and which do not, often sparing locals' livestock. This distinction requires a complex understanding of human behavior and suggests ongoing behavioral learning. In Nepal's Chitwan National Park, park rangers noticed tigers hiding when patrols were present nearby. But when patrols left, tigers returned to usual spots within minutes, showing nuanced spatial awareness. Like early wolves that shadowed human tribes, these tigers are testing the boundaries of shared space. They're not abandoning their wild nature, they're simply learning to navigate a human-shaped world. Some even show increased tolerance for camera flashes and vehicle noise during eco-tourism activities. Where once they might flee instantly, many now pause, observe, then choose the safest escape route. This suggests desensitization to non-threatening human stimuli, similar to how animals adjust to zoo visitors. But this isn't captivity. This is adaptation taking place in open, partially wild habitats. The key driver here is pressure tigers that don't adjust are more likely to come into conflict. Conflict often ends in human retaliation, making adaptability a life-saving trait passed through generations. What's even more fascinating is that different tiger populations are showing different strategies based on context. In highly populated regions, tigers tend to be stealthier and more tolerant of human proximity. In wilder zones, they maintain traditional behaviors, suggesting behavioral plasticity based on environment. Scientists now use GPS collars and camera data to model tiger decision-making and risk assessment. They find that tigers prefer risk avoidance over confrontation, a choice previously assumed rare in solitary predators. This proves that large carnivores can develop strategic thinking similar to domesticated or urban wildlife. Tigers aren't becoming domestic, but they are gaining skills that make coexistence with humans more possible. This kind of coexistence will be critical as wild habitat continues to shrink across their range. If tigers can coexist peacefully near people, they stand a better chance of long-term survival. However, this shift brings new challenges like managing tiger access to human resources without creating dependency. In some cases, tigers have started raiding garbage pits or following livestock trails near villages. This blurs the line between wild and semi-wild behavior, increasing the need for human intervention policies. Conservationists are working to reinforce buffer zones, plant more corridors, and reward communities that prevent retaliation. They also teach local residents to recognize tiger warning signs and report sightings safely and responsibly. When humans understand tiger behavior, the chances of unnecessary conflict drop dramatically in both directions. The future of tiger conservation may depend as much on psychology as on biology or ecology. Understanding how tigers think and respond to humans gives us better tools to preserve their habitats. We're entering a new phase where conservation is about mutual adaptation, not just keeping humans away entirely. In a way, these intelligent predators are teaching us how to live with the wild, not against it. Their ability to learn and change reminds us that nature is never static, never predictable, always evolving. This is not a story of tigers losing their wildness, but of refining it for survival. They are choosing silence, distance, and patience over violence and dominance in a new world order. If humans respond with equal patience and care, coexistence could become a viable long-term strategy. In the end, tigers are showing us that survival is about more than power, it's about wisdom. They are becoming symbols of resilience not just through strength, but through adaptability and intelligence. As we look to the future, these adaptive behaviors may be the key to saving the species, not through cages or isolation, but by fostering shared landscapes that both humans and tigers can navigate. So when we ask how tigers are changing their behavior, we are really asking something deeper. We are asking whether the wild can survive beside us and what we must change to allow it. Because the tiger is no longer just a hunter, it is now a learner, a listener, a survivor.